Hello, welcome to another episode on Football Dialogue. Game week 6 is here, 5 game weeks in already, and the season is not just getting started. We are well into the season already, and we can actually see a pointer at what some teams are trying to achieve as a football club, and then we can see some owners have been able to take actions by terminating the contract of a particular manager in Espirito Santo due to internal issues in the club. And we also have speculations around Aston Villa having internal issues too as well. Unai Emery not satisfied with their summer and Monchi leaving the club. So the fans are not really as excited. And it's just 5 game weeks in, and so many things have happened so far this season. And game week 6 is here, and yeah, it's good to finally get to see another weekend of football again. And like we always do, let's preview the game weeks in the order of which the games are going to be played this weekend. So I'll be starting with Brentford versus Manchester United. I really do think it's going to be a great game to watch. I want to see what is going to happen because these are two teams that have been pointed to be battling for relegation if actions are not taken. But Brentford, I don't think any action can be taken because they are in the direction that the club in itself cannot actually change so much because of the level of football club that they have. They've done away with their manager. They've let him go, and they've been able to let some good players that they've got in Mbomo and Wisa leave too as well without a notable replacement for them. So it's going to be a season where they are going to struggle, and they need to get as many points as they can get in the early parts. Let's say in the first half of the season, because the second half of the season is going to be tense. So many clubs will be in a particular situation that they will be finding it difficult to handle, and they will need to get everything just become naturally tougher than they were in the first half of the season in the second half. And this is the best time for you to amass as many points as you can amass as a football club, such as Brentford, Wolverhampton. But it doesn't seem to be a thing for Wolves right now because they are struggling to get points now, and that's going to be the case. That's why I've been able to predict that Wolverhampton are likely going to finish in the bottom of the table. So going back to the prediction for Brentford versus Manchester United, two struggling clubs as we all know. And Bomo just a bit of the shining light in their attack. Every other profile in their attack have been lackluster so far. There's not been a spark whatsoever from the attack, and then Bruno not being able to be part of the attack, being allowed to play in the pivot due to the setup that Amorim is using, even despite the setup. Bruno can still get to play in the attack, but the coach says otherwise. So that's made Manchester United struggle this season. And however, they were able to get a very advantageous point against Chelsea, and which not too many people predicted would happen, but it did happen, and that's football for you. They got all 3 points against Chelsea, and that's giving them a lift to somewhere in the top half. I think they're still in the bottom half, but at the top of the bottom half of the table, which is a good place to be for now. And they are going to be playing the Brentford team that's just as struggling as themselves. So this is another opportunity that they need to be able to grab with their whole hands and to be able to go higher up on the table, at least at the start, to help with confidence, to cool down the pressure a bit. So Brentford too, we think Manchester United are a team that they can get points from. So it's going to be a game where it's going to be open. Both teams will be going at each other like Manchester United and Burnley did when they played each other, going at each other, and you can see the number of goals in the game. And Manchester United were able to get the 9-minute goal that gave them the 3 points. But this is Brentford playing. They are playing Brentford at home. They played Burnley at Old Trafford, so they are going away to Brentford. So this is going to be a different ball game, and Brentford would have prepared very well for this match, believing that this is a match that they can get something from. So from my own perspective, one manager just getting to know the league, just starting his career, I would say Amorim, I think he's just been few years into his career, so he's somewhat new to as well. So I think he's not going to achieve so much with Manchester United. It's too big for him to handle. So two struggling teams. So my prediction for the game is a 2-2 draw. Next game, Chelsea versus Brighton. This is my team, Chelsea, and so far we've had a poor run of form, losing 2 away games and drawing 1 to Brentford, which is the first of the 3 away games. Now we've lost 2 games on the bounce, and we are playing at home to Brighton. Brighton being like our feeder team, a team where we go get players from, a team where our players usually come to Stamford Bridge for audition, knowing that it's an opportunity for them to be seen and most likely get signed into Chelsea Football Club. So it's going to be a very, very tough game for Chelsea, and Chelsea struggling right now, struggling with form, struggling with injuries. It has been announced that Tosin is injured too as well. So we've just got Fofana too is not exactly fit, or I would say it's not up to speed yet. And we've got Achimpong, who is just returning from illness, and Chaloba, the only like fit player that we have. But Yashil might be involved in the game. We don't know. So there's so many things that, so many instability right now in the back line. And James have played too many games in this last set of games that we've played, too many minutes in already in the town. So I do believe that he's getting to the level that we want him to, stamina and fitness wise. So that's a good thing for us. And there's not been any news about him being injured or struggling, fatigue, and all of those sorts. Cucurella played in the midweek, came into the game, stabilized the team to an extent. I didn't watch the game anyway because it's not a game that I felt like there's a need to watch, because I think I'm just dissatisfied with the coach, the management at the moment. So Chelsea, our attack, we've lost Cole Palmer now to injury, and Buonanotte is not eligible for the game against Brighton because that's his parent club. We've got Neto, who is not in a good run of form at the moment because we can't see any end product in the attack so far in the last few games. And Estaval, somewhat the same. We haven't gotten so much from him. And Gittins, we all know who he is. Garnacho not being managed well by the manager, and Enzo mismanaged by the manager. He's had a poor run of form, and we don't see when that's going to end. Caicedo, the only shining light that we have in the midfield for now, because we haven't seen Andre Santos in the game. So we hope that Maresca is able to deploy Andre Santos in this game and in the right position. So everything is just being hopeful that the manager does the right thing, because we still have, if despite the injury, we still have the squad, we still have the number of players that can at least put a game against Brighton and get a win at Stamford Bridge. But Brighton, they are a very good side, well drilled, but so far they've played so many games that they deserved much more than they got from the game. That's why they are languishing in the bottom half of the table. But I believe with the way that they've played so far, they deserve to be higher up. But this is going to be a very good game, an open game, and which is going to favor Chelsea to an extent, because tend to we tend to do better when we play against teams that open up against us, attacking teams like Brighton. So it's going to be a very fun game to watch for the neutrals, because there will be goals in it. So my prediction for the game is 3-2 to Chelsea. Next game, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. This is two good sides that I've met earlier on in the season in the Cotton Razor and in the Community Shield rather, and it was a victory for Crystal Palace in the shootout. It was 1-1, I think. Was it 1-1 or 1-0? I can't remember. If it was in the shootout, then it was the shootout. Yeah, it was the shootout. I remember. Yeah, 1-1 and they won. So that will give them the confidence to actually go into this game, even after losing Eberechi. You see, to us now, they think it's a team that they can actually stand against, and they would have prepared very well during the week against this team. And then they are playing at home again at Selhurst Park in Liverpool. All of these teams haven't played in the midweek, and obviously it's going to impact their fitness level. And Ekitike is not in the game after celebrating the winner against Southampton and being booked a second booking that has given him red card to be suspended for this game. So it's just Isak they've got up front right now, and unfortunately they lost one of their centre backs, Luyoni, to injury, which is not good enough. Serious ACL injury, and he's out of the season. And they've just got Gomez at the back line, and who again have they got to support Van Dijk and Konate? So it's going to be a long season, and they have to act in January if they actually want to challenge for all fronts, the Premier League, the Champions League, and every other competition that they are in right now. So Liverpool, yeah, good side. I think Weds needs to sit on the bench for as long as possible. Zuboslai should be the one behind the striker, and that's really, I think, Liverpool are going to try the most. And the slot, I believe, is going to answer, is going to find solutions to his problems. He's going to answer the questions that the squad needs to be able to have that consistent form and not conceding goals after going up again. So, but this is Crystal Palace, a very good side, and they've got a good manager, a well-drilled team, don't concede too many goals, stable at the back, like I've always said, and they've got two wing backs that can actually contribute in the attack too as well. So it's going to be a very tight game, and I believe it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Crystal Palace, Liverpool 1-1. Next one, we've got Leeds versus Bournemouth. This is going to be another open game again, two good sides. I've always praised Bournemouth in my previews that I've always done and reviews that I've done. They've met my expectation. Even they've gone beyond my expectation as a club. because what they have achieved so far in the number of games and the type of games that they've played has been well beyond expectation. That is why I've always said the best manager we've got in the Premier League right now is Andoni Iraola, and he's proving to be the best manager, even after so many people predicting Bournemouth being one of those that will be battling against relegation. But that's not the case for now, and we can see that they are right up there battling with the big boys up top. They're going to be a bogey team for many of the big teams, and they've proven to be that so far. And this is a Leeds team that are looking to be very good too as well. They don't concede too many goals at the back. They've got a manager who loves to attack, 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 attack. This game is supposed to be an open game, but these are two teams that are defensively good and attacking, and they attack well too. They attack well too. But I think I don't see who I'm going to give the edge. Leeds having the advantage because they are playing at home. Bournemouth having the advantage because they are naturally the better team right now. But Leeds will use the home as an edge for this game, and I believe it's going to be a 1-1 draw. 1-1 Leeds versus Bournemouth. Next one, Manchester City versus Burnley. This is a game that in my fantasy I've captain Erling Haaland, so my expectation is that City are going to score so many goals. They've been able to get a result at the Emirates, a 1-1, which is good for them to be able to use as a platform to what they can achieve this season. So Burnley, it's a team that are really good too as well for their level. They are very good for their level for what they are trying to do with with the kind of players that they have. They are actually doing great, and Scott Parker is doing a fantastic job. He respects the opposition that he plays against. He knows what to expect from every team that he faces, and he's been able to do anything that is going to help their cause against all of these teams. So I think it's not going to be a game that Scott Parker would think they can really get a result for. It's just for them not to concede too many goals. That's the setup he's going to put out there just to ensure that they are going to leave the Etihad respectably and not looking lost, not demoralized. So I think we set them up well, and the match is going to be a 3-1 win to Manchester City, I believe, because their attack is in good form. Haaland, Doku, Foden, so I expect them to score goals, even Burnley proving to be rigid. So 3-1, my prediction. Next game, Nottingham Forest to Sunderland. This is another game that will be exciting to the Sunderland fans because I think this is another match that they can get a win again. They have proven to be a very strong side because they had a red card against the game in the game against Villa, and Stadium of Light looking to be a fortress for them. They had a red card against Villa, but they were able to stand their ground even after going one goal down. They were able to come back into the game and equalize. A good finish from Isidro, and which was a header from Granit Xhaka, and he was able to give them the equalizer that they deserve, I think. So it was a 1-1 game with red cards that would boost their confidence going into this game against Forest that is struggling right now and not looking to be able to get any win from the games that they have played so far. Um, they played in the Europa League and they played good to an extent. They played 2-2 away to Real Betis. That's a good pointer for them that they are actually a good team. They just need to continue what they are doing and to be able to um, continue to find that form, find their feet in the attack. And when Murillo is back, it can give strengthen them even much more than they are now. But playing in the Europa League is not very easy for these Premier League teams, and that's going to be the advantage for Sunderland because they will capitalize on their level of fitness as against Nottingham Forest. So this game, my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Sunderland away from home. Next one, Tottenham versus Wolverhampton. Tottenham right now, they are actually winning games. They're actually getting results. However, they drew their last game away to Brighton, but that's coming from 2 goals down and almost even winning the game, which is a good one for Tottenham. It shows that they can respond um, to to dire situations where they need to get a result, and they did, and they almost won the game, which is kudos to Thomas Frank for instilling a different mentality into this set of players that he's managing right now at Tottenham Hotspur, and our defense are looking okay to an extent, and this is a game that they will want to get as all maximum points from and try to score as many goals just to put them in that top 4 position for at least the next a couple of weeks, which is going to help them as a team because it's been long. They were there last season. They could not even get close, and the previous season they did well to get 5th position. But this time around, I think they will feel like they can achieve a top 4 finish, and it's going to continue to drive them. But Champions League football will most likely be their undoing for them not to be able to achieve it. But Thomas Frank is his first season at the club. I think maybe he can achieved beyond my expectation, but I don't expect them to qualify for Champions League anyways. But we will see on the long run if it is doable. If it is doable, but can they achieve it? That's the question. It's Tottenham Hotspur, so you expect them to at least bottle something at some point. But Tottenham against Wolverhampton, Wolverhampton are struggling side, and this is the best time to play Wolverhampton before the January window to see if they are going to act in the market. So my prediction for this game is a 3-0 win to Tottenham Hotspur. Next game, we've got Villa versus Fulham. Aston Villa struggling right now, even despite the win in the Europa League to Bologna. They won 1-0, but Fulham are a very good side. They are concrete. The back is concrete, you know. They've got Calvin Bassey. They've got Anderson Strong. They've got the left back. They've got Kanstan, and they've got Tete, and they've also got Robinson on the bench. He was building his fitness back after the injury that he had. And then they've got two defensive midfielders who don't lose their focus defensively, Lukic and Sander Bajic. And so Fulham are a very good team right now, and they can only continue to improve because they are not in any European competition right now, but they are a team that can actually prove to be stubborn against teams that are in European competitions. And then Aston Villa playing in the midweek, obviously we know that is going to impact their fitness level, and this is going to be an advantage for Fulham. And Fulham are in a good run of form, while Aston Villa are in a poor run of form. So it is a game that I expect Fulham to win, and I believe they are going to win. So it's 2-1 to Fulham. Next game, we've got Newcastle versus Arsenal. Newcastle versus Arsenal. This is a game everybody wants to watch, and I can't wait for this game because I don't even know. I'm not too sure of my prediction for this game, but I will just say it as I think it can happen. Newcastle, St. James Park is a fortress for them. That's where they get all the energy that they need in the game. Run, cover as many distance. This is a game that Newcastle will know that they need to get something from because they went away to Bournemouth and they played the five at the back against Bournemouth, respecting Bournemouth. Eddie Howe coming up with something that no one thought he would because he's never like that. It's just something new. So I believe they would have prepared well against this Arsenal team. And then Arsenal, after drawing their last game, they want to get into winning ways as quick as possible. But this is a Newcastle team that they've lost 3 games on the bounce when they played last season, even during the season where they were really good as a team, but they lost against Newcastle 3 in the bounce. And this time around, it's a Newcastle team that they've played Barcelona, a very good side in Barcelona, and they lost 2-1 at St. James Park. There is something that they can actually really take inspiration from the way they play. And Arsenal is going to affect, I know the result that they've had against Newcastle in the past is going to affect their mentality, knowing that they are not invisible anytime they go to St. James Park to play Newcastle. So I do believe that Newcastle can get maximum point from this game. But what is going to prevent me from giving them all 3 points is knowing Arsenal, is the Arsenal's defense. They've got the best defense in the league and they hardly concede goals, but they did against Manchester City. But that's against one of the best strikers in the world, in Erling Haaland. And this is a Newcastle team that can actually, with their press, force you to make mistakes. And let's see how the defense is going to respond. It's a game that I can't wait to watch, but I'll just stick with my prediction for the game and what I think is going to happen during the game. So I'll go with a draw, a 1-1 draw, Newcastle versus Arsenal. And next game, we've got Everton versus West Ham. Everton, a good side. We could see the way they responded to going down against Liverpool, 2-0 down against Liverpool. And it was a very, very good game where we saw good finishes from all of the players in the team. And the Ghana goal to pull them one back was a very great finish too as well. And going to Anfield is not always easy. And then you can see how Everton even wanted to go into the game and believe that they can get the equalizer. And they tried, but it wasn't easy to break Liverpool when they decide that they want to actually sit back against you because they are a goal up, knowing that Everton are a good side too as well. They respected them and they actually sat back to an extent to be able to restrain Everton from doing what they can do in the attack. So good one. Grealish has been a revelation for Everton this season, and he's added so much spice to the attack, holding the ball a lot, going past defenders, squaring the ball, creating chances, causing problems, exciting the fans too as well, because you need to be doing that. And if it gives you the energy, when you show them such ability on the ball, you give them an energy and you get a response back from the fans, and it excites not just you but all of the players around you. And you can see Njai is also doing his team, recovering the ball, tracking back, running in the attack, doing or playing so well, and Dewsbury Hall too as well. All of them have been fantastic so far, and this is a team that is going to be playing at home again at the Il Dickinson Stadium, and they are going to be playing at home to West Ham, a team that is struggling, a team that has been conceding so many goals from set pieces. So it's a match that you expect them to get goals from. You expect them to concede a lot of goals from. But Everton are not a side that is going to tear you apart. If they want to win you, they are not going to tear you apart. So I don't see West Ham scoring a goal against Everton because they are very good defensively too as well. And to me, this game is going to be the easiest game Everton will be playing at home this season. Well, because they don't score too many goals, I'll leave my prediction to be a 2-0 win for Everton, 2 West Ham 0. And that's my prediction for the week. And I think that's all.